On this episode of Grape Street TV, we gonna jump into the fact that after the Watts Peace Treaty ended, the war started back up. There was a lot of lives lost in that war, and that's facts. That was also the turning point for my generation, you know. We start catching time and getting our hands in the stuff that we shouldn't been getting into, you know, that's growing up in the culture. Don't nobody bring you stories like this because, you know, they wasn't in the field, or they wasn't off the porch, or they just wasn't around. So if you ain't hit that like and that subscribe button yet, then that's what you need to be doing. But if not, y'all already know the deal with me, man. I'ma bust y'all across y'all head with some knowledge every time, man, straight up. And make sure y'all hit that bell for all notifications, so when I drop these reactions right here, they pop up on your timeline like the chicken pox. Boop, 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 boop. Y'all already know the deal with me, man. Listen, tap in. So we gonna start this one off without particular dates, you know, due to the fact that it's a lot of vloggers that be on here, you know, and they don't want to pay for the game, or they don't want to sit down with a real one to get their game, so they search the internet and try to make interviews and reviews and reactions off of, you know, wars that they don't even know about, that they getting pieces of it from, you know, the internet. So this right here is coming from self-experience, and that's facts. It all started over, you know, the police stopping a black male and beating him, and it caught wind to the news, and it was pushed all around the city. So, you know, people united, came together and did what they didn't want us to do. You know, we came together as one. And yeah, for the people that don't know, I'm talking about Rodney King. I'm talking about the Rodney King beating. It brought peace to the Watts community. So yeah, when that peace treaty kicked off, you know, we started hanging out in each other's hoods, hanging with each other and messing with each other homegirls. Some of us had kids by, you know, different women that was in different hoods. So, you know, we got ties still to the communities as of this day, as of people got kids growing up, you know, that went through all the stuff. So as my generation was growing up and being caught up in the peace treaty, you know, we was cool with people from the other side. So we knew a lot of them, they knew us, they knew where we hang at, and we knew where they hang at. So, you know, that was very dangerous to the young mind, which we didn't, you know, realize what was going on and what was gonna happen. Everything was going good and smooth, and to make a long story short, the police didn't like what we had going on because they didn't have nobody to arrest no more. Everybody was sticking together, you know, to stand on our foundation, just to get treated right and not to be victimized by the police. So I guess they was fed up with everybody getting along so much, they was like, you know, starting a little stuff. They'll be the ones come through, send some shots at a certain hood, fake like it was another hood, coming in different hoods, doing shootings and stuff, turning us back against each other. And you know, Watts is not a super big city, so the peace treaty, you know, surrounded the 4 projects: the Jordan Down projects, the Imperial Courts, the Nickerson Garden projects, and the Hacienda Village projects. And all it took for one person to get shot, and you know, one of these projects or one of these hoods that, you know, that was involved in the peace treaty, and it triggered a war. At this time, it was in the 90s, so you know, the wars was real ugly. It's like somebody would get knocked down in one hood, and then they'll double back and knock somebody else down, and vice versa. It was going back and forth. We lost a lot of, you know, loved ones to this. A lot of innocent people also got hit. Some people would come out, you know, to try to visit their family and get hit during this gang war that we had going on in Watts. And due to the peace treaty, hanging out in different hoods and, you know, getting to know everybody, like the main heads and, you know, the big timers became targets because everybody knew who the ones was and who was the marks, and, you know, their experience being in everybody's hood. A lot of my childhood friends and people I went to school with from all sides of the cultures, You know, a lot of them dead or they in jail doing life over the same war that got started when we didn't even know nothing about what was really going on. And that's facts. You know, we wasn't old enough to realize that they was playing a dirty, tricky game on us. And the older cats, they weren't really teaching us because they was too busy, you know, caught up in the war. And my generation was at the same time busy following suit. Yeah, so that's when a lot of bad blood, you know, hit the city. And that's where a lot of grudges come from. Back in the days like that, you know, you had females that was also, you know, caught up in the war, out here in the gang culture and giving the drop on people, setting people up, doing all type of stuff. So a lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of people lost their lives to the system as well. And like I said, I know a lot of people, you know, they got caught up in the war, sitting up with life, double life, triple life, in a wheelchair, people on the run. Like, it messed the culture up. Some people got on drugs because they lost certain people that they couldn't deal with living without, and that's facts. And around that time, that's when the gang culture went completely blind to, you know, what these people was doing to us and setting up all these laws, come up with the 3-strike law, start striking them out. And part of the gang culture's communities, you know, they was also hit with the gang injunction, which you couldn't hang out with your own family members. You couldn't hang out with nobody that seemed like that was associated with a gang. So even if you wasn't from a gang, they was taking you down and labeling you a gangbanger. See, the stuff I be kicking the eye be straight knowledge, self-experience, you know. And before this reaction in, we want to say rest in peace to all those that, you know, fell victims to the gang culture, and free all the ones that caught all that time, especially the innocent ones. And you know, I want to tell you, the gang culture is trash, it's nothing. And you know, if you want a part 2 of this, make sure y'all hit that like and that subscribe button, and make sure y'all run this video up and jump in the comments and let me know y'all want a part 2. And oh yeah, I just busted off y'all head with some knowledge. So make sure y'all hit that like and that subscribe button, man. Don't be no mark.
This is an OG call. I'm keeping it. OG. Fuck.